This video is sponsored by World Anvil, the ultimate world building tool for your D&D games. Make interactive world maps with markers and descriptions, create articles about lore, creatures, or locations, and share with your players to enhance your campaigns. Get started today with my code XP to level 3 for 20% off your subscription. There's a link down below. So bards are an interesting case. The music playing tomfoolery, good at everything magic baby class is weirdly underwhelming in 5th edition. If you've ever played a bard past level 5, you know exactly what I'm talking about. While most of the classes in D&D are making you feel special by giving you abilities around your class's flavor and core identity, it feels like the bard is only strong or cool when they're doing something that isn't bard-y. Rogues are rewarded for being sneaky, cunning, and stabby. They get abilities surrounded around that, making them feel unique. Paladins are the same way. They follow their oath and therefore get very powerful abilities, but they're so limited in what they can do that these special unique things are only unique to them. Bards don't get much for being entertainers, performers, inspirers, or just charismatic. Their spell list is criminally unvaried, having only 4 unique spells to their name in just the player's handbook. Now, yeah, sorcerers are a lot like this actually, but I feel like that fits the identity of a sorcerer way more than it fits a bard. Sorcerers just know how to use magic innately, so it makes sense that the wizards came up with all of them. But bards are also composers and writers. Why don't they have more unique spells? Song of Rest is way too weak to be worth anything. Regaining health on a short rest is something everyone can do. Counter Charm is the worst ability in the game, thanks paladins. Magical Secrets is actually pretty cool until you realize you're just taking spells from other classes. Again. Bardic Inspiration and Jack of all Trades are hands down the most unique things that a bard gets, but they are so underpowered in comparison to all the other classes' key abilities, to the point where they don't even feel special after level 5. Wow, look at me! I'm the bard! All my skill checks are good! Wow, cool, great, a class version of the help action. Here, let's list some things bards can do, and I'll just throw out other classes that can do that just the same way. Want to be skillful? Play a rogue. They get a lot of proficiencies and expertise. Want to use magic? You can play a wizard or a sorcerer. You want to play a support class where you can heal and buff your party members? Play a cleric. There's over 13 domains of different flavor. Want to be the charismatic face? You can play a paladin, you can play a warlock, you can play a sorcerer. Want to use an instrument and be an entertainer or performer? Play any class and take the entertainer background. Now you may be asking yourself, is this a gameplay problem? Like, do bards just not fit into D&D very well? Maybe. Bards used to just be a rogue subclass, and even then, rogue wasn't even a class in the 1st edition of D&D. Most other systems adapt a sort of leader or face kind of class into their systems, instead of a music man. Now, why is it that other systems do that? They still have a place for this style of character. Yeah, and I think D&D does as well. Just not in the context that it currently sits in, which is horny, trumpet, vicious mockery. I don't think paladins should be locked into good alignments. Warlocks shouldn't be locked into weird patrons. Clerics don't have to be all righteous, and bards don't have to be focused around music. Bards can and should be lore keepers, spies, entertainers, storytellers, leaders, but most of all, inspirers. Bards are the heart of the cards. They're the main anime character. They believe so hard in what they do that magic happens. So I want to reintroduce that, bring that vibe to bards in D&D. And I've started that by writing up a homebrew pack that we've been writing over on our Patreon. If you haven't seen all the community posts I've been making about it, we've been writing up a bunch of stuff that you can put into your games if you want. This one we uploaded is free, so in case you were like, oh great, this is just a sellout video, I hate you, Jacob, unsubscribed. You can go up there and download it. It's formatted to look like the books, and there's even a printer-friendly version where you can copy down all of the text. In this pack, we wrote up a bunch of new cantrips, a 1st level spell, 2 feats, and a subclass for Bard that can hopefully make your Bard experience a little bit better. Most of the spells that we wrote up were very inspired from Pathfinder, because I feel like Pathfinder has a really great spell system. And by spell system, I mean Pathfinder has a lot of really unique spells that are super cool. And D&D 5e does have a lot of spells, and I do agree that there is this sort of fun nature about knowing the limited amount, but I think having a lot more cantrips for bards would make them feel infinitely more unique. Every caster class gets their cantrips, and this is like their signature spells. These are the ones that they're going to cast when they're out of spell slots. These are the ones that are going to level up with them, and they're going to keep them forever because they define the character that you play. Cantrips stay with you for forever, and they are important to the identity of your character. I think it's really dumb that the only unique one Bard gets is Vicious Mockery. Have you ever noticed how many freaking Bard characters have Vicious Mockery? It's because it's the only unique one. Yes, Bard only gets 2 cantrips, but these 2 cantrips are going to be unique to your bard, and you can pick whichever one you want. We have different ones like Dazzle that you can give people disadvantage on initiative checks as a reaction. Helping Hands, instead of a mage hand that is one hand that does one thing, it's 2 hands that you can use as a bonus action that can only stay within 15 feet of you, but they can move rhythmically, they can pull items out for you. Also, I feel like bards should be able to cast a spell that creates hands for them while they're playing their instrument, if that's the type of bard that you are. Spoken Word is an upgraded version of Blade Ward that helps you protect your allies. Lullaby is like Sleep, except the cantrip version. You can give enemies disadvantage on perception checks and insight checks, and if they fail to save 3 times in a row, they're asleep for a minute. Counter Charm Master is a feat we wrote up that upgrades your counter charm. You have to be 6 levels in Bard or just have the counter charm ability in order to take the feat. And what this counter charm upgrade does instead is simply takes away the advantage that you give to creatures who are frightened and charmed, and you just make them immune for the time that you're playing the performance, or saying a rousing speech, or cheering your companions on as they fight, or anything that you think that your counter charm should be. And if you think that this is overpowered, I would like to remind you that paladins get the exact same ability. It is within only 10 feet, but paladins have it passively and bards have to do it as an action. Also, I feel like helping your companions not be scared or charmed anymore is totally a bard ability, so why not give them this one win? Also, you're using up a feat for it. Silver Tongued is the other feat that we wrote up, and it's just one to enhance and flavor your charisma a little more. We also wrote up a subclass called College of Leadership. With this Bard College, I was very inspired by Gloomhaven. Gloomhaven is a RPG board game that I won't spoil too much of because in that game, you actually have to unlock all the classes and characters, and some people are still maybe playing it, and I don't want to spoil it for you. But that game does have a bard-like character, and their abilities are really, really awesome. And I love the way they played so much. I wish that D&D bards worked the same way. The other inspiration for the College of Leadership is characters like Captain America. As soon as this person shows up on the battlefield, everybody is invigorated and ready to keep fighting. At 3rd level, you can use your reaction and a bardic inspiration to make a ally's attack roll magical for the purposes of overcoming resistances and immunities, and they deal extra damage equal to your bardic inspiration dice. This bard subclass isn't a fighter in themselves. Instead, they're there to make their party better at what they're doing. Plus, bards can already cast cool fighting spells and can fight on their own merit. Also at 3rd level is Distracting Dirge. Once per short or long rest, you can use your reaction to stun a creature if they fail a wisdom saving throw. I know that this one is going to get a lot of, ooh, but that's super powerful to have at 3rd level. Look, it's on a bard, and it's 1 creature, and you get it once. It's not like it's the monk. 6th level, you get Fight as One. You inspire your allies to work as a team, and the number of allies within 10 feet of you gain a +1 to AC, and they get to heal, gain temporary hit points, and a bonus to saving throws equal to the number of allies chosen in the area. This is basically like a team-up moment that you can have with your party, where maybe the battle isn't going so well, or you need everybody together to start fighting the enemy that you're about to take down, and everybody gets a bonus just for being together. And at 14th level, you control the battlefield with Inspiration and Leadership. You can use your bardic inspirations to make attacks hit or miss. That's mostly everything I've written for now. If you guys like this, please let me know. I really want to bring life back into this class, and I can't do it by myself. So just let me know what you think. Anyways, I will be back next time in the internet. If music be the food of love, play on. But I don't feel the love, tell me I'm wrong. Can we fix this class or is it gone? talk about the bard without a stupid song. Bards can get no relief. Every edition screws the class that sings, just a product of the thief. This is not just a 5e thing. Feels like the bard is an afterthought. When you play one, you gotta give it all you got. The mechanics and gameplay are really shot, and everyone thinks that they're a thought, which is really dumb. People think that this class is a fool. Maybe you're not like some, but if bards hit smite or sneak attack, everyone would think they're cool. It's the same guitar I've been using since How to Play Bard. I never even changed the strings.